Alright guys, we're back. I'm going to do a little small, short touch-over video on what you will need for your first service. I believe mine's right at like 25 hours, something like that. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and try to get this knocked out today. We got a big ride at Top Trails this Saturday, and I want to make sure I'm ready for that, and I want to make sure I take care of my vehicle, obviously. So anyways, like I said, this is just going to be a quick touch video on what you will need, things like that to do it. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's very simple to do. Everything's Kawasaki's made this stuff so easy to get to, so if you've got any basic tool knowledge or mechanics knowledge at all, you can do this, guys. Save your money, get the stuff, buy the Kawasaki oil, whatever you want to do. I run the Kawasaki stuff in the front and the diff for sure. So anyways, you can do what you want to do, but this is, again, just a short video on what you might need. So anyways, coming over here, so to get started with, obviously you got your oil. You're going to go 10W40. You got your 8090 on your front and rear diff. They run the same exact thing, so you don't have to get two different things there. You're not quite going to use both of those, but you'll need them. Also, you got your filter here. The shop that I go to, they have high flow. It's the exact same filters. It's not a real big deal on what you run on the filters there. They're all pretty much going to work. So biggest thing is I wanted to make sure that I run the Kawasaki in the front and rear diff. Those are a big deal. The gear oil, yes, obviously I wouldn't use something cheap. The GN4 actually is a pretty good oil. I've run in a lot of dirt bikes and ATVs that I've had over the years, so it's always been good for me. So anyways, I mean, it saved me a few bucks there, so no big deal. Also, if you don't have one, get one. Okay, guys? This right here, you can go to your local hardware store, auto parts store, what have you, and you can get this for about $9 or $10. This screws right on to these bottles and this bottle. So it's got two different sides. Let me see if I can take this off one-handed. It's kind of difficult here, but I'll show you. So you can take that off. This will fit right over the gallon size. It's got an on and an off right there, as you can see, where it says spin it on and off. So that way it's no spill. It's awesome. It's flex tube. You can get right into where you need to get into. You're not spilling oil everywhere. Guys, if you're going to be doing this, get one. Seriously, spend the $10, get one. If you don't have one, try to get one. I think I bought this one from like Harbor Freight. For small things like this, it works well. It's a torque wrench. You want to make sure you're torquing this stuff down, especially drain bolts to specifications. I'm not going to touch on the specifications on that. Read your manual. Just in case anybody's got a problem with that, I want to make sure that you've read it for yourself. As far as that goes, pulling the gear oil, you're going to need a 17 millimeter. So 17 socket will work for that. Your front diff is going to be, I believe, an 8 Allen head, and your rear, I believe, is going to be a 6. So anyways, it's easier to get to with the socket Allen on the rear versus the front. I can get to it fine with this, and that works just fine for me. So anyways, that's what you're going to need to do those. And then obviously my handy dandy drain pan, nothing expensive, doesn't need to be. I think this is like $4 at an auto parts store. You can pick one up. I've got a bunch of them around here, but you know how it is. When you need it, it's not going to be there. And then of course some rags, man. You know, dealing with oil or anything on your machine, you're going to get crap all over you. Whether it be from undoing the bolts or whatever. But when you're putting in the gear oil, when I drain it, I like to take out the actual filler tube plug. It helps drain it out. That's just me personally. So when you do that, you want to make sure, let's see if I can get in here. So when you do that, you want to make sure you clean all around this area here, because if you don't, when you take that cap off, it's going to fall down into there. That dirt and debris is going to get down in there, and you definitely don't want dirt and debris down inside your case. Obviously, you got your oil filter here. You know, guys, you want to warm your machine up before you work on it, before you drain this stuff. So I don't mean go out and, you know, give it hell, but you want to warm it up, get all that oil loosened up. Hotter oil drains better, personally, I think. So be careful when you undo that. I've seen a lot of people saying stuff on forums about poking a hole inside the oil filter and letting the oil drain out and then undo it so you don't make such a mess, and that's a pretty good idea. So if you're one of those people, hey, I will probably try that today. So but again, just keeping things clean. You want to keep debris away from the caps, the filler caps, as well as, you know, your differentials. When you go to do those, make sure you're cleaning that stuff off. You know, I mean, as you can see, my machine's pretty clean, but there's still some dirt and stuff in places. So you just want to be safe. Don't want to get that stuff in there. Same thing with your front. It's really easy to get to. As far as your filler, you can actually see from here. So it's, I mean, all this stuff Kawasaki did a really good job on. So anyways, that's that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get up underneath this thing and pull the drain plug. Go ahead and change the gear oil. I will probably go gear oil and then front diff, rear diff, just because of my tight garage setup here. But anyways, that's that. And we're going to go ahead and get started on that, and I will let you know how long this takes me. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we're all finished up here. It took me roughly about an hour and 15 minutes. Sorry for the dogs barking next door. That's all they do. Not very intelligent. Anyways, so as far as on the front and rear diff, right here, let's see if you can see this, right here is where you're going to access. That's your filler cap for your rear diff. It's 1 inch and 1/16. So you'll need that socket with an extension to get past this backside here. So 1 inch and 1/16 there. It's a crush ring on the rear, it's a crush ring on the oil, and it is an O-ring on the front. Right here, also, same thing, 1 inch and 1/16, that's your front diff. So, again, on the front, it is an O-ring. Gear oil, it's a crush ring, and rear diff is a crush ring as well. So, all this stuff super easy to see, super easy to get to. The rear diff's going to be your hardest just because of where it sits, and you will need to make sure you got 1 inch and 1/16. So the drain bolt for the gear oil is going to be a 17 millimeter. So you'll be able to get to that with that. I believe it's a 6 millimeter in the rear and 8 millimeter in the front, Allen heads on front and rear diff. So anyways, that's it. I didn't really bother popping my air filter out to check yet. I don't ever really ride anywhere hardly even dusty. Not yet. I've been just trying to get through this break-in period, and during this break-in period trying to get a few mods done. But anyways, just wanted to get with you on that, let you know that. Also, I posted another video on a little tech tip using the filler tube, getting to the oil filter. Right here, when you take that oil filter off, that oil is going to get everywhere. So I just used the little $10 tool that I told you about, and made a little something for that. Anyways, I did a short little tech tip video on changing the oil, so if you want to look that up, you can refer to that. I'll show you more about that, and it's in the process of me using it, so you'll see exactly how I did it. Really helped, kept all the oil off of my motor. I didn't get anything on there, as you can see. There's nothing on there. So anyways, that's it, guys. So like I said, about an hour and 15 minutes. I think a lot of y'all were saying it was going to be around 400 bucks is what they quoted you to do the service on your machine for your first one. That to me is just ridiculous. So an hour and 15 minutes, I think I've spent, let's see, $55 I believe I spent with the oil filter, all my crush rings and stuff like that. Oil, front and rear diff. It's a 80W90 for front and rear. So anyways, that's it, guys. So just stay tuned for more content, and remember to like and subscribe if you like this video. Thanks, guys. See you soon.